for Wentworth.
Thank you, Speaker. I move amendments 1 to 20 as circulated in my name.
Member for Wentworth.
Thank you. These amendments seek to make the bill better. I do not seek to undermine the government's stated intentions at all. My amendments will not interfere with wage rises for low-wage workers, gender equality, or impose unnecessary barriers to making agreements. These are laudable aims, and I support them 100%. My amendments, however, will make this bill more workable for businesses, particularly small businesses who have had an incredibly tough time in recent years, and more workable for workers who desperately need a pay rise to cope with the rising cost of living. Many of the concerns of this bill can be undone with one simple amendment. Let businesses consent to multi-party bargains in the single interest stream. No business group in the country supports compulsory engagement in multi-party bargaining. No business group in the country supports this, not even COSBOA, who was the first business group to consider the value of multi-party bargaining, but never under any circumstances did they say should this be compulsory for business. When we are heading into tumultuous economic times, it is absolutely reckless to ignore the legitimate concerns of business. It is reckless to ignore the Productivity Commission, who in their report said any changes to the Fair Work Act to increase the use of multi-employer and industry sector-wide bargaining are likely to have uncertain implications for productivity and should be undertaken with caution and be subjected to detailed, rigorous and transparent analysis. Productivity is absolutely vital for wage growth, and we should again listen to the Productivity Commission when considering this. Will a small grocery store be forced into an agreement that suits Coles and Woolworths? We don't know. Will these changes actually increase wages when agreements are made that may stop a business changing their business model to meet the needs of their time? We just don't know. The truth is, we do not know the full implications of this legislation, and businesses in my electorate don't even realise that they're going to be subjected to it. If the government will not take the time to properly consult on this bill and properly help work with business to come up with solutions that will work for business and workers to drive productivity and wage growth, then we need to make this change. Many have also spoken about the importance of small business in this country, and that and many people in this House have electorates, have businesses where they would say 15 staff does not make you a medium businesses. These businesses should not be treated as if they were. I'm seeking an amendment that would raise the threshold of businesses to 100 full-time equivalent staff. Businesses below this level don't have HR teams, and they're fundamentally different to big businesses. I acknowledge that the government has shifted on a grace period for 6 months, but I would like to say that is not long enough for business. We should extend that period to 12 months at a more realistic timeframe for negotiations to be concluded. I support the government's desire to increase workplace flexibility. However, I believe that we should always move to conciliation before we go to arbitration, and so I seek that we require conciliation before subjecting parties to arbitration and the very significant cost it entails. In intractable disputes, my amendment would help prevent gaming or other mischief. They simply require the minister to define intractable and require the parties to engage in good faith and require Fair Work to be satisfied the position of each party is fair and reasonable before arbitration commences. And finally, and I think this is crucial, my amendments require an independent review of the bill after 12 months. Sally McManus made the point to me the other day that Parliament tends to ignore industrial relations once a significant reform has been made, and so we miss the opportunity to refine legislation after commencement. That is a mistake, and one that we can rectify by ensuring a review of these changes is taken in due course. The government is determined to pass this bill in a month. It is a huge risk. It is a national experiment in changing workplace relations at a time when our economy is fragile. Wage growth is too low and has been too low for too long. I want to see higher wages, but I don't want to see small businesses closing or unemployment rising, and I really don't want to see a wage price spiral where higher wages are eaten up by rolling economy-wide price hikes. That would be the worst possible outcome. The government should do the responsible thing and limit the scope of the experiment.
Order.
We should not risk that today.
Members'
Thank you.
time has